Okay, welcome everyone to the deep dive.
Glad to be diving in.
Today, we're tackling a pedal that, well, it's almost a must-have, isn't it? The MXR Dyna Comp.
Ah, the little red box.
Yeah,
Instantly recognizable.
exactly. And on the surface, it just looks so simple.
Hmm.
Red box, two knobs.
Deceptively simple.
That's the perfect word.
Yeah,
But what makes it such an icon? Why has it stuck around? That's really what we want to unpack today,
for sure.
because it's way more than just a compressor. People talk about that smooth sustain, keeping dynamics even.
And making clean parts, pop in a mix, it has a definite sound.
It really does. That signature squashy feel they talk about, it just took off.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's got to be one of the most copied, most modified compressor designs ever.
Oh, absolutely. Its influence is huge. And it all started back in, what, the mid-70s?
Yeah, let's get into that history a bit.
Okay, so the Dynacomp first appeared in 1976. It came from MXR Innovations,
Right.
a company founded just a bit earlier, 1972, up in Rochester, New York.
By Keith Barr and Terry Sherwood, I believe.
Yeah. That's them. They really started something special there, laying the foundation for, well, an effect that's ended up on countless pedal boards.
Okay, so 1976. Let's maybe peek under the hood a bit. What's going on technically?
Sure. So at its core, the Dynacomp is what we call an OTA-based compressor.
OTA, Operational Transconductance Amplifier.
Exactly. Think of the OTA like a voltage-controlled resistor. It's the brain, really. It dynamically adjusts how much the signal gets squeezed based on what's coming in.
And the specific chip they used was pretty key, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely critical. The CA3080 chip. That specific operational transconductance amplifier was, well, kind of revolutionary for the time.
Oh, so.
It allowed for really smooth, very musical sounding compression, and importantly, with pretty low noise compared to other methods back then. That chip is the secret sauce.
Okay, the CA3080. Got it. And the controls reflect that simplicity we talked about.
They really do. It's part of the appeal, I think. You've got output that's just your overall volume level after the compression does its thing.
Standard enough.
And then there's sensitivity. Now, this is where the magic or the squash happens.
Right.
It basically controls how much signal feeds into the compressor circuit. So it sets the threshold and how much compression you get.
Ah, so turning up sensitivity does both. Increases the squash and makes it react sooner.
Precisely. That's how you get that signature sustain and, well, that famous squash, especially when you crank that sensitivity knob way up.
That squash is so characteristic. You mentioned musical compression earlier, and its sound. It definitely has a unique character. It's got a slightly slower attack, maybe, compared to some modern ones.
Yeah, that's a really important point. That slower attack is kind of what defines it.
What does slower attack mean in practice for the sound you actually hear?
Okay, so attack is how fast the compressor reacts and starts turning the volume down once a note hits. A lot of modern compressors are designed to be super fast, almost invisible, transparent. The Dynacomp, being a bit slower, lets that initial pick attack, that transient, kind of pop through for a split second before the compression kicks in smoothly.
So it blooms a bit.
Exactly. A soft, blooming character. It's less of a hard clamp down and more of a gentle squeeze that follows the note.
Which leads to?
Well, fantastic sustain. It's why it's so loved for clean country, picking that pop and then the long, even note. Great for funk rhythm, too, keeping things tight but still punchy. And, of course, for smooth lead guitar work.
And it's not exactly transparent, is it? It adds some flavor.
Definitely not transparent. It adds a bit of tonal coloration, a certain warmth or thickness, maybe. But here's the thing, a lot of players like that. It's part of the Dynacomp sound. It's not a flaw. It's a feature for many.
Interesting. Now, what about when it's switched off? Bypass is always a topic.
Always. So the early ones, the vintage units, had buffered bypass.
Meaning the signal still goes through some circuitry even when off.
Correct. Which can, some argue, subtly affect your core tone, especially with long cable runs or lots of pedals. Later on, particularly with the Dunlop reissues, some models offered true bypass.
Which means the switch physically disconnects the circuit entirely when it's off.
Exactly. Sends the signal straight from input jack to output jack. For tone purists, that's often the preference zero coloration when the pedal's bypassed.
Gotcha. So buffered versus true bypass became another factor in its history.
Definitely. And that history, the different versions, that's a whole journey in itself, isn't it?
It really is. Perfect place to transition. Let's talk about those different eras.
Okay.
So recapping that journey. Where do we start? The originals, right?
Yeah, the first era, and the most sought after by collectors, is the script logo era. We're talking 1976 to about 1977.
But that cool cursive MXR logo.
That's the one. These use the original CA3080 chip through-hole components. They generally have a reputation for a warmer, maybe slightly smoother compression. Very desirable.
Okay, script logo. Then what?
Then comes the block logo era, roughly 1977 up to when MXR originally closed its doors in 1984.
The logo changed to that big, bold block font.
Yep. Still largely CA3080 based inside, though there might have been minor component tweaks over the years. These are the ones that really became ubiquitous. Studio staple, stage staple, late 70s, early 80s, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Solidified its legendary status.
And then MXR disappeared for a bit.
Yeah, the original company folded, but the brand and the Dyna Comp didn't stay gone for long.
Which brings us to
the Dunlop-era reissues. Dunlop Manufacturing bought the MXR brand name in 1987 and thankfully brought back many of the classic pedals, including the Dyna Comp, and they still make it today.
So these Dunlop ones.
Yeah.
Same deal inside.
Mostly the same classic design, red box, 2 knobs, but, component availability changes. The original CA3080 became harder to get or more expensive, so some Dunlop reissues use substitutes like the CA3080E or later the LM131100, which are similar OTA chips. The core sound is still very much Dyna Comp, but maybe slight variations depending on the exact chip and other components. Generally, though, these brought improved reliability, modern manufacturing standards.
But the story doesn't quite end with just the standard reissue, does it? Dunlop's done more.
Oh, definitely. They've kept evolving it, which is cool. There are custom shop versions and other variants.
Like what?
Well, for the purists, there's the Dyna Comp script reissue. This one's specifically designed to be a faithful recreation of those original 76-77 models, often using that coveted CA3080 chip again.
Going back to the roots.
Exactly. Then, for players tight on pedalboard space, there's the Dyna Comp Mini. Super compact.
Tiny.
Yeah, and they even added a little attack toggle switch on that one, giving you a bit more control over how fast or slow that compression kicks in. Add some versatility.
That's a nice touch.
Any others?
There's also the bass Dyna Comp, recognizing that bassists often need different things from compression, like preserving the low-end punch.
Right. You don't want it to thin out the bass.
Precisely. So the bass Dyna Comp is specifically tweaked and optimized for low-frequency retention, keeping the bass tone full and clear while still getting that compression effect. It really shows how adaptable the core design is, and its influence. I mean, the list of players who've used it is just staggering.
It really is. You mentioned sustain earlier, I think David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. That singing, almost endless sustain on solos, like On the Wall, you can often hear the Dyna Comp working its magic there.
Totally. Or switch genres completely country music. Keith Urban.
Oh yeah, huge Dyna Comp user. For that super fast, bright chicken pickin' style, the Dyna Comp helps every single note articulate clearly and pop out, even at lightning speed.
It gives it that snap.
Exactly. And think about the Edge from U2. His rhythmic playing, those chiming, delayed arpeggios. The Dyna Comp helps tighten everything up, making each note incredibly distinct and articulate within those complex patterns.
It's not just about making things louder or longer, it's shaping the dynamics.
Precisely. And you've got legends like James Burton, the Telecaster master. John Mayer uses it for some clean rhythm sounds. Brett Mason, the Nashville session king. It's foundational in country, funk, clean, pop, and rock. That signature pop and sustain is just so useful.
It really is. But let's be real, that squash isn't always what someone wants, is it? Are there times when maybe the Dyna Comp isn't the right tool for the job?
That's a very fair question. No pedal is perfect for everything. If you absolutely need transparency, like zero tonal coloration.
Like an audiophile studio compressor kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah. Or if you need incredibly fast, almost surgical compression maybe for really tight, modern metal rhythm playing where you want every palm mute to be perfectly even and immediate.
Yeah.
The Dyna Comp might add too much of its own voice, or that slightly slower attack might feel a bit spongy when you want pure aggression. Its character is its strength, but also means it's not a chameleon. It has a sound.
That makes sense. Its flaws or its features, depending on perspective.
You nailed it. That distinctive voice, though, combined with how relatively simple the circuit actually is, that made it a huge hit with another group of people, right?
Ah, the modders and DIY crowd.
Absolutely. Because the circuit board was pretty straightforward, it became this perfect playground for modification.
What kind of mods were popular?
Oh, lots. True bypass mods were really common, especially on older buffered units, for people who wanted that pure signal when it was off.
We talked about that earlier, yeah.
Then there were attack mods, adding a knob or switch to control the attack time, giving more flexibility than the stock pedal.
Getting closer to that mini version's toggle.
Kind of paving the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people did component upgrades, swapping capacitors, resistors, sometimes even the op-amp itself, trying to lower the noise floor or just tweak the tone slightly.
Light tuning it.
And interestingly, because the Dynacomp circuit is quite closely related to another legendary compressor, the Ross compressor.
Ah, yes. Highly sought after.
Right. So Ross compressor mods became popular too, basically changing components in the Dynacomp to match the Ross specs, chasing that specific vintage tone.
Wow. So it wasn't just used, it actively inspired more innovation.
Massively. You look at boutique pedal builders today, Keeley compressors, Analog Min's compressor, Wampler's Ego compressor. Many of those hugely successful boutique compressors owe a massive debt to the Dynacomp circuit. They started by modifying or refining that topology. It really sparked a whole wave.
That's an incredible legacy. I mean, the fact that the Dynacomp is still being made, still selling, what, more than 45 years after it first came out?
That's pretty remarkable.
It just speaks volumes about how right they got that core design and sound. And like you said, those original script logo ones, still hugely collectible. People pay serious money for them.
They absolutely do. Tone chasers are always after those early examples.
So thinking about this whole journey, this enduring appeal, it leads to maybe a bigger thought, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, you look at music technology now, it's constantly changing, right? We have incredibly complex digital modelers, super transparent studio gear shrunk into pedals, endless options.
True. The pace of change is relentless.
So what does it tell us maybe about creativity or what musicians value? That this pedal, the MXR Dyna Comp, with just two knobs, a very distinct, sometimes kind of squashy sound, a definite coloration. What does its continued relevance say about the importance of having specific iconic sounds available to us, rather than just chasing perfect transparency or endless tweakability?
That's a fascinating question to leave people with. In a world obsessed with the new, why do certain imperfect classics endure and continue to inspire? What's the value of sonic character?
Something to think about.